I'm going to be talking a little bit loud because I don't have a mic yet. Got to get a mic. Anyway, I'm back. Those of you who haven't been here before, I'm Linda McCarthy. I'm owner of Linda McCarthy Studio website where I sell modern, vintage looking things that I've made myself. Plus I have some vendors there. But I'm changing it over to where I will just be having the stuff that I make. And I do cosplay, things like that. So, costumes. And I do sell what Katie did, which I will continue, which is the lingerie from the 40s and 50s, modern. And it's not looking as plump as it used to because of shipping prices, etc. And I'm still in that COVID trying to reach up to get back. And I have to admit that my website hasn't been very active with people going on there, but I think that's my fault because I haven't been really telling people about it. But anyway, I started this channel because I have a massive amount of fabric that I would keep purchasing when I had my store on Ponsonby Road in Auckland, New Zealand, because of course I did reproductions, plus I brought a bunch of other stuff in, plus I sold vintage clothing. And I kept buying because I kept thinking, well, I will hire other seamstresses, which I never did. But anyway, it has been suggested by a couple of people that I just sell the fabric, but I really like to sew, so I just want to keep just doing that. So I also have been gone for like 2 months, maybe 2.5 months now, because I had to have a gallbladder operation. I know. Anyway, my gallbladder was full of gallstones. And what's interesting is that the pain that I was having off and on when I ate, after I ate, was so bad. And I always thought it was acid reflux. I would always take, acid medication. And then I'd go to the doctor. What's wrong with me? Okay, take this pill, take this pill, take this pill. And all along, though, it's been my gallbladder. So what I thought was acid reflux was my gallbladder just filling up with gallstones and the bile. I know that sounds like a weird word, but the bile wasn't able to get through to my intestines to help the liver and the gallbladder together, break down the food. So it got to the point where I was just constantly in pain. Now, this pain started about 1995. And around that time, I was postmenopausal and I was gaining weight. I used to be really tiny. I'm short, but I'm not so tiny. I'm that way. So I just attributed it to that, getting older, blah, blah, blah. But it was really my gallstone, or my gallbladder, but the gallstones were, accumulating. Anyway, so it took until 2025 to figure it out. And this one doctor, it's the same office, but, sometimes you get transferred to a different doctor. And this one doctor, she's younger, lovely lady. She said, I think I'll check your liver. So I had a blood test with my liver. She goes, your liver's not acting very good. So then she said, I'm going to have you go in for an ultrasound. And we're going to look at your gallbladder. And there it was, full. I mean, it had that much room at the top. That much. Anyway, and within days I was in the hospital. I didn't want the operation. I thought maybe I could do it on my own. But no, when it's as bad as mine got, you gotta have it out. So, now I'm in New Zealand, and we have, like, I guess you call it social medicine. So it's not like you can just make the appointment and go in. But because of this was a semi emergency, I went in on Friday because Saturdays, believe it or not, in this one hospital, I'm not going to name hospitals or anything like that. I'm not going to say anything bad. Nothing bad happened. But it's the only surgical hospital in New Zealand, or in Auckland, and they have a brand new wing, and it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Anyway, they put me in on Friday afternoon because Saturday they have a thing called gallbladder surgery Saturdays. They do a lot of gallbladder surgeries on Saturday. Well, that's fine. I thought I was going to get my gallbladder out on Saturday, and people kept saying, oh, you'll be done in a week, blah, 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 you know, you feeling better? I wasn't done in a week. Anyway, so mostly unfortunately for the people that had emergencies, there were a lot of car accidents, a lot of emergencies on that weekend, and so they couldn't take me because I wasn't considered an emergency. So 6 days later, every morning, they're like, okay, the doctors come in, okay, we're going to operate today, but then there was more emergencies. And one day, I was at the top of the list, and they're like, yay, we're going to get you in today. They came in at 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, yay, and they're, yay. No. There was, unfortunately, somebody had an emergency, which, you know, I believe that they need to go. Fortunately for them, not for me, because they're first. It's life-saving, what they needed. So I said, listen, it was like the 5th day in there. I said, listen, I think I should just go home. You can give me the meds, you know, and then you can call me when you want me to come in. And they're like, that's perfect, because we can definitely get you in on a Saturday operation, but not the Saturday. That was a Wednesday, not the Saturday, but the next Saturday. So I went home with all the drugs, not heavy drugs, but I was drinking soup for a week and a half. Yes, I was hungry, but it was painful even having that. So then on that Saturday, I went back and they prepped me. So I went in at 10. They prepped me. By noon, I was waiting my turn, and I was number 3. I was the number 3 gallbladder surgery of the day. And I went in there. I have to say, I was scared. I was crying. I know. I'm so sorry, I said. I'm so sorry I'm crying. I'm just a big baby. But, you know, once they gave me, you know, the feel good, and then you're out on the table. The next thing I knew was I woke up because I heard someone say, Linda, we're all done. You can wake up now. And I did have pain from the incisions, because they do 4 incisions. Because one for the camera, I don't know what the other 2 is, and I think another one's to pull out the gallbladder, which they put it in a sack, and they snip, and then they pull it out. So, hope that's not too gross for anyone there. But anyway, so I have to say, and then they gave me meds, because I had like they're like, how do you feel from 1 to 10? And once I got to number 2, because they gave me morphine through the intravenous, then they let me go back. And then I stayed overnight that night. And then the next day I came, And it was really worked out well because my two nieces, my sisters, two of my sister's children were here because my sister had passed away a year prior, and they brought her ashes back to be buried here. And so that all worked out. That was lovely, and they actually picked me up at the hospital and spent a lot of time with me. And then a week later, I was able to slowly walking around and drive the car and go to have lunch with them, and one of my niece's daughters and her fiance. So that was lovely. That was really great and emotional, but you know, it's hard when your only sister passes away. So I always looked up to her. I remember even from being little, and she held my hand. I was happy. So it was her time, even though it felt like it wasn't. But anyway, so with all of that, and did I tell you that the pain from overcoming, you know, the pain from the incisions and everything is far, far less than the pain I felt when I ate and my gallbladder was giving me the pain. So I'm not a doctor, but if you've got this constant pain and you're being told to take an antacid or whatever, ask them to check your liver, because that's all it took. And believe me, the operation, it's not, even though I was crying because I'm a baby, it's not bad. And I was real lucky. I got the best gallbladder surgeon in New Zealand. It's a piece of cake to him. So anyway, and he was very nice. Anyway, so that's why I've been gone for like a couple of months, and I've been trying to get things done. And but I still feel like a twitch because the scar tissue is forming, and you know, it's pulling a little bit. It's not every day now. If I exert myself too much, yes, I'll feel it. I just take a paracetamol. That's all I need. Sometimes one, sometimes two, and it's over the counter. So and the incision that's just about above my belly button, sometimes that's kind of stings, but you can't believe how nice it is to eat without being in pain. Well, those of you who don't have this issue know, but you know what? It's a blessing. So anyway, so behind me, if you've seen my other videos, it was chock-a-block full of boxes. Well, before the operation, I had my friend Natalie, my lovely friend Natalie, help me move boxes. And we just kept moving boxes. But I was ill. But I'm like, come on, let's just, and she would help me every day. And so I had half still in boxes here and half in a storage. Now, at the storage facility, I've talked about this before in future past videos, that I did find a storage facility rather than a facility, costume house, which I did have before. And I wanted to do it this way because it's a lot cheaper. I don't have to pay rates, and I don't have to deal with the landlord. And I did talk to the owner of this particular place that I'm at, very clean and dry, and told him what I was going to do. It's not going to be open for business per se, but I'm going to have appointment only, and people will come. They're like costume designers or whoever's going to do whatever they're going to do with their movie or video or photo shoot. He said, that's fine, just don't, you know, put a sign out. So I'm still working on getting that together. So last week, it Was it last week? Yeah. I know we only had like 3-4 trips to go. I said, Natalie, please, can we just get this done today? And believe it or not, and her eldest daughter helped us as well. And we got it done. Now there's 3 wardrobe boxes. 1, 2, 3. That I have to empty, but I can't. They're so heavy, and I borrowed a trolley for the other boxes, which was kind of It was helpful, but a lot of times we just carried the box, or Natalie just carried the boxes out. But it's too heavy to wheel to the car. I have an incline on my steps to get to the car. So now unpacking at the storage space is easy because I'm on the bottom level and we just throw it on a rolling rack and it takes 2 minutes. So anyway, but after that, my side hurt for 2 days. But I just took my meds. So, but now I'm not going to have to do that. So I'll just unload and pack in my car and take it there. But before I do that, I just want this room to be a sewing room, because as you know from my other videos, you've seen all the clothes, all the fabric everywhere. So I'm going to pick up my tripod. So yes, I have a bed, a queen size bed, because this used to be a bedroom. And anyway, this is going to be moved. Sorry for the close up. So, okay, using a tripod's not as easy as I thought. Oh, okay, we've got to go this way. So behind me, I'm going to walk backwards. Behind me is stuff I need to deal with, okay? And I just bought a, this is all fabric I have to deal with. So I just bought a shelving. I think I'm going to have to go get another one to put the fabric in. So that's what I'm going to be doing now to empty out and rearrange this place so I can have a living room back, because at the time it was a good idea, but it became not a good idea. So I'm going to sew in here and keep on doing my fabric challenge for however long it takes. Now, I'm going to end this video, but I just want you to know, if you're having a constant acid reflux, have them check your liver, because you just don't know. It might be your gallbladder. It just might be. And believe me, from my experience and from other people's experience too, because gallbladder operation is pretty normal, you feel so much better. I have more energy. It's the fact that I'm not in pain all the time. And my brain, it was really getting to be a mental health thing too, because I didn't want to eat because I knew I was going to be in pain. Anyway, I'm glad that's done. So that's the first thing I want to say is, check your health, make sure you're good. Because when you get older too, you got to check the parts. And I'm going to be doing this room. Now, I want this room to get done by mid next week, because I've just got to get sewing. So, and another thing is, I'm going to have another YouTube channel for my costume house, Hollywood Costume House of New Zealand. I haven't created it yet. I do have videos of me moving stuff in. This is pre-operation. But I haven't, I'll do that. But my main priority is getting this room to be a working room. So it's a mess right now, and I'm really working on. I have a feeling because the weather in Auckland right now, we're going into fall, winter. And so it's been raining, it's a little bit cold, it's been windy. We've had like storms, flooding in Christchurch. I mean, I don't live in Christchurch, but anywhere it floods. I feel for the people because, it's not good. So, anyway, this is the I'm back video. Please like my video or subscribe. I have 4 subscribers. I'm so popular. But I'd like to have more, of course. Now, even though you can make money on YouTube, that's not my goal. My goal is to really challenge myself and work on shrinking down my fabrics. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.